Well, welcome again to episode 3 of Fast Break, and we brought in the big guns here. Hey, we've got the professor of coachonomics here. We've got Scotty the Freak Lotta, also known as the Freak of Speak, but also known as the Hoops Whisperer. And then we brought in Whitener Lightning there, Jeffrey Whitener. He'll be with us as well for episode 3. And guys, by the way, I'm Ray Halbrook, by the way, so everybody knows who
Mr. Livestream.
Mr. Maestro. There you go. As we begin episode 3 here real quick, we are going to kind of break some things down here a little bit. We're going to start with the ladies, and we're going to start in a situation where we're going to do the colleges first. We're going to start with Jefferson College. And we brought Jeff in because Jeff, to me, is he is the unsung hero for our team here. And he knows so much more about what's going on locally than we could ever put us three together. And the reason why is because he's always there. He's there at the Jeffco games. He's there at most of the high school games, sees the things that's going on. Jeff, what is what's the meaning of your success? That's what I want to know.
He is the Matrix.
Can't stop, won't stop. If I stop, I'd be sitting in a nursing home someplace. So keep going.
There you go. He's got things to do, man.
That's right.
So let's talk a little bit about the ladies here, and we'll talk a little bit about Jefferson College. You get to see a ton of Jeffco games, boys and girls, but man, the ladies lately have been really, really good the last couple of years. And emphasis on really good. They've been ranked before. Where are they right now? And your thoughts on this season?
Well, this has been a really interesting season for the ladies and Coach Walker and Coach Smith over at Jefferson College. The team's kind of in flux right now. Coach Walker, as you know, Lee, likes to play that high-low game, and with that high-low offense, it's really important to have some power bigs down low. And at this point, it's hard. You can't ever replace a Jacayla Smith and what she meant to the teams and roster. And not just as far as her scoring ability, but her toughness, her attitude, her competitiveness. And right now, we've got a couple of bigs over there in Ty Harvey and Kamaya Pitts that we're working into the matrix and trying to get them to that level where they can assert themselves on a physical end. Now, they both lead the team in scoring right now. And Kamaya's also got a bit of an outside game as well. But, it's just really trying to get that. And the guard play is so important, too. This year, Landry Hammondtree running the offense as the one guard. Kyla Schnurbush was supposed to be the one guard this year. She had a preseason knee injury, the former Perryville standout, and she has now resigned herself to the coaching ranks.
Wow.
As an assistant for the Lady Vikings as well, by the way. I don't think that's breaking news at any stretch of the imagination, but Landry Hammondtree doing a fine job as a freshman and bringing things up. She's a Southeast Missouri native. But right now they're in a state of flux. I think, as Lee mentioned before, the schedule is much better for them starting off in January here. And I think we'll see this team come together and do well and hopefully, make a run towards the end of the season, right? Lee.
Yeah, well, early on they had a string of losses, but those against really tough competition. And then now coming into the break, would they win like 3 out of 4?
Right.
And then I think they're set up very well to do that. Start to keep that momentum going after the break as well. And back to the point guard you mentioned, freshman. That's the key word there. And to be doing the things she's doing already, that's just going to grow and develop and get better over time.
Right, and we want to mention too, at that same token, next year they can look forward to Olivia Madden from the Festus standout coming over and running things in that one guard position too.
She's fantastic. Yeah.
So that will give them some other options because Olivia can do a little more than just what a standard one guard can do.
Yeah, well, I tried to recruit Olivia, but who wouldn't want to stay, just minutes from home and be a star there, and she will be a star at that level, no doubt.
Absolutely.
Excellent, excellent. Let's take a look at the St. Louis Community College. Their Archers and the Lady Archers. They have had a struggle the last couple of years here, but what can you kind of glean from things here, Jeff? Come kind of being on the outside looking in.
That it's a program. It's they're trying to rebuild. Things are kind of disarray right now. It's hard. You have to start with character people.
Yeah,
It's one thing to bring in talent, but if you're going to rebuild the program, you have to have athletes that can come in there, and maybe they're not the most talented athletes, but maybe they're high character, hard-working individuals that are willing to come into a situation on that ground floor and try to build something sustainable. And that goes to the coaching ranks as well. And that's what I see as the biggest challenge ahead for a school like St. Louis Community College in that situation, because you know, talent is one thing, but if the talent is uncoachable, if the talent does not have the proper attitude, the proper character, you're just spinning your wheels.
right, right.
Yeah, coaching turnover. It's like a new coach every year because the situation is very challenging.
Right.
The coach now has a really good pedigree and resume, and hopefully, but we talked about this in another segment too. Is just getting so much harder to recruit women basketball players because the supply seems to be shrinking up, but there's still the same number of colleges trying to recruit them.
Exactly.
At St. Louis Community College, we think of St. Louis as a basketball hotbed, and it is definitely on the men's side. But on the women's side, the best players are going to go to not community college level. They're going to get farmed out to Division I and other four-year schools for the most part. The best ones are going to go to higher level JUCOs than St. Louis Community College. And so this is going to become a challenge. You really got to spend a lot of time. You got to have good recruiters on your staff and to find those character pieces. Honestly, Jeff, I think that means more than even the talent. The talent is very important,
Right.
but I think you can find diamonds in the rough, but it takes a lot of time to find them.
Exactly. And I've just used the analogy, my Michigan Wolverines football
Something in
team.
this book about that.
With everything that's going on with my Michigan Wolverines football team, they're
Oh.
bringing in a high character individual to
Yep.
run that program now.
No doubt.
I'm very, very excited about. So it's that same type of thing. Wins and losses are important, talent's important, but you have to build on that foundation of character.
Excellent, excellent. What do you think about that there, Scotty?
Freak.
Well, I mean, what's that old expression? Rome wasn't built in a day.
Right.
We got to see the Lady Archers last year, and there was like moments where it was like, okay, they would have a good 2-3 minute sequence, and then they would go back to kind of like almost like playground school. It was like there was no continuity. There was a lot of one-on-ones. There was a lot of forcing the action. And it's just a matter of getting to stay in that focus, that mindset of this is a team game. It's a process. You're not necessarily going to see overnight results, but you just got to kind of trust the process.
Excellent.
Amen.
And Coach Lee Richardson says amen. I like it.
Well,
Like-
I want to say too, Scott referenced my book. Now, my book is 5 years old. So I think in a future show episode of Fast Break, maybe we'll get into some of the,
Yeah. Love it.
updates, if you will.
Yeah.
But what I do want to plug my book real quick and say I read another book recently that reminds me of my book. And it was a book about anti-gravity, and it was impossible to put down.
He'll be here all week, folks.
Oh my goodness.
Sorry.
You definitely got
Had to be
the
done.
Mr. Livestream shake. Yeah, there it is. The head shake. There it is. So I love it. I love it.
Boy.
All right, taking over to the high school side, and we'll just talk a little bit about. We'll start with the small school girls here because it's been an interesting situation. Me personally, who the surprise is for me is the Crystal City Hornets.
Mhm.
And Crystal City girls have really they have committed themselves. To say, you know what?
Yep.
Here we are, and we're going to force ourselves to get better, and they have. And I just want to kind of get your take on that there, Jeff.
Well, for me, the Crystal City girls are no surprise. When we saw them last year, we saw the freshman, Addison Bova play in the games, and not only her, but her partner back there, and I'm trying to think of her, Maya Hankins. and what she does on the rebounding end. They've got two players, sophomores over there now that it can really make an impact. And Lee, coaching a small school, when you don't have a lot of depth, it only takes a few players to swing things one way or the other sometimes. Just conversely, if you get an injury to one of your players, how that can affect the entire season as well. But Bova has been a bright spot. She's averaging her 3-point shooting. She's averaging I think, just looking at their 2.29 field goals per game in scoring, she's among the metro area leaders with 20 a game as a sophomore,
Wow.
just behind Brooke Blankenship of St. Pius. So, Maya Hankins among the leaders in rebounds in the area. She's good for right now for 10 a game. So, Jefferson had to to tie them at the buzzer and take them to overtime to beat them by 2 the other day. So I don't know that Crystal City might be sneaking up on some people, but by the end of the year, everyone's going to know how good they are.
Yeah, since the days of Ken Jones coaching the Crystal City girls, I don't know if
That's
you've
right.
seen a team with this much promise.
Good
Excellent.
Ken Jones reference.
Yeah.
I don't think Crystal City, like kind of Jeff said, is like you saw them last year and you're kind of like, huh. I mean, they weren't flashy, they were solid, they did a lot of fundamental good things. And then to see their early season success, I'm not really surprised at all. The rest of the small girls grouping, I mean, I don't really see a clear number 2 in that group yet because it's early, but I think some teams are still trying to forge their identity.
And you mentioned that first matchup, Jeff, with Jefferson. And so we'll see how that works out later on, probably in February, right?
Down the road when they meet again.
Yeah.
Scott, when you look at the small
That'll
school
be big.
standings right now, you've got Crystal City and Jefferson, Grandview Herculaneum down this year. Crystal City and Jefferson really fighting for second, but the clear favorite in that group is St. Vincent. They went to a Final Four last year. Right now they're 4-3 overall, but their defense is just amazing. St. Vincent, a team like Pius in the past, and even Herky now, where you've got soccer players on that team that have that motor on defense that just never stops. And it doesn't matter how big they are. What matters is they can harass you the entire game and not come out. There's something to be said for those multi-sport athletes, especially soccer players playing basketball league.
Well, at Lewis and Clark, we actually have a practice player. We had a female soccer player come in, and she was from France. She didn't speak a lot of English and never played basketball, but very smart. And within a week or two, was picking up even on a lot of the offensive things, but created a lot of havoc for the other players offensively, just with her motor, as you say.
Right, St. Vincent right now, they're a defense. They're averaging only giving up 40.29 points per game. Jefferson leads that conference in offense, 56.17 points per game. That's mainly on the strength of Helena Lloyd, the all-time leading scorer, who's adding to her list now as a senior. But also Louise Dupner this year has been a bona fide outside threat and is among the metro area leaders in 3-point shooting. And then, of course, you've got the one guard Megan Guffey. She's tough as nails back there, competitor. So it'll be interesting in the long run. And Lee, the small schools, you have certain goals. And because of the way the conferences are set up, especially when you look at a team like Crystal City in the past, winning a conference may not be the number one goal, but winning the district is. Now, your large schools, you can say winning the conference is a very important goal, but it doesn't mean as much at the small school level.
Well, because in so many cases, if you're, class 2, your district is going to be much easier than winning the conference, especially when you have a St. Vincent. In the past, when St. Pius was in, had really good girls teams as well. So it's maybe harder for a Crystal City or a Grandview or what have you. Remember a few years ago, Grandview got to a district championship game,
right?
Because that district was probably easier than the conference, honestly, that season. So yeah, you run into that a lot.
Talk a little bit about you guys have mentioned St. Pius a little bit. Jeff, have you been able to see very much that's going on with them as well?
Well, right now, I mean, we're just seeing the senior citizen of Brooke Blankenship and what she's able to do over there. You know, she's among the metro area leaders in scoring 21.3 points per game. She's among the metro area leaders in rebounds, and I don't know if or where she is committed yet. I have
SIUE, right?
SIUE.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, but that's probably a good academic choice for her because I think she has the skill set. She could probably play at, different schools. Nothing against SIUE,
Right.
but that'll she could definitely play at the next level, and it'll interesting to see how she does, you know, down the road. Right now, you look at the large schools. If we
Yeah, let's go ahead and
segue to
I
those,
was getting ready to push you there.
right? It's Festus and everybody else right now. They're undefeated, 7-0. They're on a mission this year. Olivia Madden, her senior season, but Eliza Skaggs, I mean, leading in 3-point field goals, and tough as nails from the outside. But they also have, some good athletic players as well. Lillian Kennedy among the metro areas in steals, along with Olivia Madden. Rebounds, Madden also up there. Block shots, though. Kylan Drury and Jamisha Patterson, both among the metro area leaders in block shots. And Jamisha, an incredible athletic athlete. She's mainly a track standout for Festus, but she's been an integral part of this season for them.
Excellent.
Well, you talk about, soccer players, track. I mean, it's kind of the same, stamina point you're talking about there, that they can just run for days and that just wears a team down over time.
Right. And we've got some great players at Hillsborough too, and they'll make a run at them, I'm sure. But right now, Festus leads the conference in offense, 63.86 points per game, defense 42.57. They lead that on the defensive side as well. So Hillsborough's got some work to do, but we know they've got some very good players over at Hillsborough as well. And one of them is actually going to be heading to the college next year in Miss Ashley Hilton. And she'll actually be over there as her sister leaves the softball field. So
Yeah.
We'll see if we can get Ashley to play softball and basketball. That'd be great.
Yep. Can't have enough depth. So
That's right. I want to mention too the play of Peyton Stearns for DeSoto. That Peyton Stearns, the coach's daughter down there, one of two Stearns sisters. They got the freshman Stearns down there now. I can't think of her first name, but Peyton is just been a really solid player for them on both ends of the ball, of the court. And I did want to mention her as well. Her and Mackenzie Missy down there. She's among the leading the leaders in the metro area in assists as well. So shout out to them as well.
Excellent. That's a great look here at our ladies from college and high school. And we'll take a break here real quick. We'll be right back with our next segment.
Meant to do what they do. Devoted, skilled, solving problems before there are problems. Just like the team at Crystal Heating and Cooling. 60 years of teamwork and dedication. To Crystal, you're more than a customer. You're a friend. Top reviews, decades of experience keeping your home safe and comfortable through any weather. And Crystal Care Club with included maintenance and free financing options. For 60 years, Crystal puts their heart into your comfort. Crystal Heating and Cooling.
We're back. We're going to talk a little bit of men's basketball here, and we'll start with the Jefferson College men and turning it over to our Jefferson College guru here. And he goes, where's he at there? But Jeff sees them on a daily basis, weekly basis at least. Your thoughts this season here on the Jeffco men?
It's as Lee mentioned before, it's a patient building process to get players in there. We mentioned it starts with character a lot of times when you're starting to turn a program around. So at this level, you're getting guys that are character guys that maybe haven't gotten the attention that they need to develop to go to the next level, or you're getting guys that maybe need to work on their grades that have some talent, uh, on the basketball court. So you're always getting a mixed bag, and a coach has to put that together somehow. But the thing that's really good about Jeffco, and they just won their third game the other night, is they're trying to build is you've got a character guys like uh, who came back this year who had other offers to go, like Samuel Olotu, who works so hard on defense, and he's been mentoring these younger guys. You've got a Logan Schaupert from Farmington stand out leading the team in scoring this year. Certainly Ethan Smith, Rose Scott Bates, they have been inside, outside. Smith, the outside threat. Roe Bates, in and out, really. So they've got some really good pieces of the puzzle. Darwin Dalmacy, a freshman this year, he had a red shirt last year. He was injured, and he is all over on the defensive end, fast as lightning. But so there are some good pieces here. They're fun to watch, even when they lose. They're fun to watch, and but I can't say enough about Logan Schaupert and how impressed I am of him coming in. He's a tad undersized for what he does. I think, if he's able to hit the weight room and put about 20 pounds on, it's going to really benefit him next year. But he can score inside. He can score outside. He can play like a guard. He can play. I mean, you can put him just about anywhere on the court, Lee.
Yeah, talk about soccer. We were talking about former soccer players. Logan's a great soccer player in high school, and his dad, Tim Shoppert, fine official in the area. Yeah, what a pickup. And that's sort of a diamond in the rough, because it's nothing against Logan Shoppert, who I've enjoyed watching play basketball for a very long time. But it's not necessarily also somebody you'd look at and say, this is going to be like the team leader, this season. And as a freshman, been very impressed with him.
Right, and you've seen Lee coaching at the high school and the college level. Some kids, when they get to the college level, regardless of what the level is, find it very challenging and shrink from that. And some guys get to that next level and it just clicks and their game picks up. And I don't know why. I don't know what it is that spurs that. Maybe you have more insight than I do.
Well, it's just their fabric. It's just in their DNA, and he comes from a good family and been raised really well. But even with all of those things, some kids just don't have that inside them. And I don't know if this is the role he envisioned having this year, but when presented with that opportunity, definitely, grabbed it and ran with it.
He certainly blasted his way into the starting lineup and getting a lot of time on the court. And have you had a chance to see the college guys play at all?
I have not seen them, but they're just kind of like glancing over the stats, and it looks like they're shooting a high percentage of threes.
Yeah.
What do you think is preventing them from maybe attacking the interior more? Is it just a size or a muscle standpoint? What do you think?
Well, they've got the size down low, and rebounding is good. But the guys right now, some of their bigs are around the rim. Willie Griggs, some of these guys that Isaiah Holder, they're still working on trying to finish. They're getting shots up. They're just not able to finish. So, as I mentioned, Coach Walker on both the guys and gals likes to play that high-low game in and out. They're very good at kicking that ball back out to the outside to a Rose Scott Bates or an Ethan Smith, one of those guys, even Evan Please at times. So they're playing that style. They're just having a hard time right now, these freshmen, learning how to finish around the rim, be strong around the rim against some of this level. And, this is a very young team.
They're young, yeah.
Yeah,
that's it right there. And hopefully Coach Walker can retain most, if not all of them.
Right.
And let's see what we can. This is what junior college is all about. It's about that 2-year window of development. It doesn't sound like a long time, but in the JUCO world, these coaches like Coach Walker, they know how to utilize 2 years, and he will definitely get the most out of them if he can bring them all back.
Any chance that they need to maybe channel their inner Nate Denby and get some of those ugly baskets more?
You got to explain who Nate Denby. You got to explain who this is.
Not to Jeff.
Not to Jeff.
Yeah, I'll tell them who he is. Yeah.
Shout out to Nate Denby, current DJ Nate Denby, from one DJ to another. Former Crystal City standout for Lee Richardson, part of the
my guy.
fabric of that team, and a high character individual. former military man as well. We thank his
Right.
service.
There you
But anyway,
Love Nate.
a great reference there,
Yeah.
Scotty.
A lot of stories too, but we'll think of the one. We'll filter out the best one next time.
Save that for another show. There you
Yeah.
go. Let's take a look into the St. Louis Archers as well. Last season, you saw a really amazing, just out of the chute. I think they were 11-1 at one time,
Mhm.
and then all of a sudden kind of trailed off. And this season's been kind of, okay, whatever.
Well, I admit I have not been able to really follow the Archers yet this year to see what they're doing. That is here again really just spoke to it, that turnover, that challenge at that JUCO level. Where and it usually it works in that cycle. By the time these guys are sophomores, you're usually going to have a better record. You're usually going to go farther. So they probably have an influx of younger players this year that are in the starting roles, and. As I mentioned, I haven't seen them. I'm looking forward to. I'll be seeing them in here in a couple of weeks to see how they're doing this year.
Right. We're going to send Lee out to be kind of our crack team here in the next couple of weeks here.
I'm going to go watch.
See what's up with some of these teams.
I'm
Here.
going to go watch St. Louis Community on Saturday because we have Scott. We have an upcoming broadcast. St. Louis Community College at Jefferson College on January 14th.
Yep.
So I've watched some video, but I want to see these teams with my own eye. One thing to mention about the men for STLCC, some local flavor. They got Stephon Higgins, the big guy that used to play at Northwest Cedar Hill.
Right.
Kyle Gast, who played at Fox
Right.
a couple of years ago, I believe. And but like we said on another segment too, Coach Terry Collins, been around the game a long, long time, and I think they'll figure they're going to be okay as the year goes on too. It'll be interesting to see that game on the 14th though.
Excellent. Turning to the high school side here, we'll start with the small school boys. And the Jefferson Blue Jays are red hot, and they have been playing some really good basketball. We've covered them, and we'll be covering all of their home games here, thanks to Mr. Watson over at Ricky Watson and Kevin Epperson for being our sponsors for those games. But it's been a fun first part of this season here, especially, and Jeff being the PA guy over there, he gets to see them on a daily basis as well. So, give us your thoughts about their season so far.
Well, it's interesting. Right now, they're 6-4 on the season. They've got a game coming up here very shortly against a good opponent, but 6-4 currently on the season. They started out of the gate. They had some injuries. Some of that injury was hangover from football season. Here again, small schools affect the starting lineup. You've got a team where you've got 4-5 guys that have been playing together since they were fourth graders. So there's incredible chemistry on the court, and we talk about them playing well. I don't think they're still hitting on all cylinders yet. I really think the best is yet to come for this team. Right now they're averaging 64 points a game on offense, 53 on defense. You've got guys that a different starter every night, whether it's Talon Watson or Cooper Frisk, any of those guys.
Broadwater.
Colton
And then
Broadwater.
you've got like Blaine Wilson, who has a very underrated role with the team.
Blaine Wilson, high basketball IQ on the court, and if he gets hot from the outside, you just keep feeding him the ball. But and he's been a big reason for this success. But they have depth too. They have depth on that bench. And Lee, we saw it at the Crystal City tournament, and their biggest nemesis in the conference is going to be St. Vincent. Max Wheeler's having an incredible year for them down. They started out slow, St. Vincent did, but now they're up to 5-2 overall record. They're averaging 67 points a game on offense, and that's going to be a battle down the line. But you know what? Herky has gotten hot lately. Herky now at 5-5 on the season. They're averaging offense and defense right now right around 60 points a game. But Coach Wolff, Logan Kelley-Wolff, has found a way to get enough open looks for Tanner Duncan. And that when you've got a guy who's predominantly that one star, Sometimes it's very easy for teams, especially at that small conference level, to scheme against them. So it's a challenge, Lee, and you can probably speak to this better than I can of being able to, when you've got that dominant player, getting him in a position to get good looks.
Well, it's about building roles for the guys around him and making them feel valued where they're actual, threats on both ends of the floor. And that's kind of what we saw. We saw them back at the Raleigh Duke tournament in their, was that fifth place game they were in, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a really nice win over Park Hill Central that day. And on both ends of the floor, it just seems like the other complementary players, you don't want to, ignore or leave any of them out. Tanner Duncan's a great player, a great scorer. We know that. But if you're just like, hey, guys, play number one, everybody just four low and let Tanner go to work. That's not how it works. And any team worth anything is going to, take that option away from you pretty quickly. But I did want to say on Jefferson, we were talking about this earlier about sometimes your district is easier than your conference. And we know they want to win the conference, a lot of local bragging rights involved there and all of that. But their district, if we're looking ahead, Class 3, District 3, it's going to be Jefferson in there with Grandview, Hancock, Kingston, St. Pius, who's 0-8, I think, right now, 0-7 or 0-8, and Valley Park. And again, nothing to slight any of those teams. We don't know what they'll be in February, late February. But right now, that looks like a really, really good path towards
favorable. I think is the way you're looking.
Favorable.
There you go.
Favorable. However, for their chances of getting another banner this year
is
Probably
a very scary one for basketball coaches
Jefferson
everywhere.
made the Final Four last year. You're running
And
into
this
Principia
scenario
again,
deals
and
with the
I
topic
don't know,
of
Lee, do
frightening
you know why they didn't move up?
conversations.
I probably
no,
should
it's
know,
not about
but
if
I
you're a
don't know the
student
answer.
having to
They
come
should
home
be
and tell
class
your
6.
parents why you have 3 Fs on
They
your
might not
midterm
should be
report
admission
card.
at all. They're a steamroller.
And it's also not about,
having said
if you're a
that,
coach
winning a district is such,
and you go
such
to
a
the
great accomplishment for high
basketball
school kids,
coaches
and,
clinic in Las Vegas,
that'd be 2 in a row, wouldn't
and
it,
have
Jeff?
to come
This
home
would
and
be
explain to your
3
wife
in a row. if they
why
pulled this
little
off. I'm
Johnny's
sorry.
college
All right,
fund is
so
gone.
going for the three-peat here,
Okay.
this group of players,
No,
and
our subject
it's
tonight
interesting
is about a very
just
scary
being around these
4-letter
guys
word.
that just it's about
C,
quiet confidence
U,
than anything else,
T,
and
S.
they know
Cuts.
if someone's
Boom, boom,
having an
boom.
off night.
Cuts.
There's
Okay.
4 other guys on the floor and
Now,
a couple guys on
I'm
the
not
bench that
talking
can pick them
about
up, and
slasher
that's
movie
that
cuts.
kind of depth you
okay?
rarely see at a small school
I'm talking
level.
about as a coach, and you hold
Yeah,
tryouts.
and just to, I know we got to move to the
And
large
you
school
have
today, but
10
real
spots
quickly,
for varsity,
Crystal City, Grandview,
10
kind of
spots
tough
for-
start to the
for
season.
junior
I see some
varsity.
promise there, and they got some guys who were juniors.
and then you have
who
the
are gonna be a lot better
very
next year,
scary and
seniors, so if they
unpleasant
can
task of
kind of
having
hang in
to
there.
talk with
They might have some
number
light at the end of the
21.
tunnel as well.
Exactly.
Okay,
Excellent.
and let me tell
Talking
you right
about
now,
the
there's
large
nothing
schools
scarier
here,
for a
Festus
coach
Tigers
than
again.
that
They're the
conversation.
team to beat. Looks like here.
And I don't
on,
care if number 21
on paper.
has
Festus Tigers.
2 left
Is it the
feet,
Festus Tigers?
Not so fast
2
there.
left hands.
Who?
Yeah,
can't
I like
run
them,
and
but
shoot
I think
the ball at the
Windsor's going to
same
have
time.
something to say about that.
Windsor, and we've seen quite a bit of
And
that.
No,
and he
one
has.
eye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They,
Yeah, I
their
think,
jump shot
Mr. Colby Blake
looks like a
over at
broken
Windsor might have
lawn chair
something to say,
unfolding.
former star of the
Okay.
game, our player of the game for us over there.
You will
right
feel
now,
2 feet
both
tall
teams
as a
7 and
coach
3, but
when you
Windsor,
have to tell that player you are
really on
crushing
the
their
offensive
dream.
side, 65
and
points a
cutting
game,
them from
averaging,
the team.
giving up 58 points a
And,
game.
and by the way,
And
contrary to
that is
opinion,
ahead of
when this
Festus
conversation's
right
done, you will
now.
not
Having
feel the
said
weight
that,
lifted off your
Festus
shoulders.
has a lot
No.
of good pieces
This-
in the lineup, and
This
it's probably going to come
talk
down to those two.
and
Right now,
this player
Hillsborough 4 and 3,
will
DeSoto
haunt
2 and
you
6, Perryville
for the rest of
1
your
and
life.
3 right now. Perryville's a very, very young team.
So
down
yes,
Chills.
telling a
who
player
does
that
that
you are
program?
cutting them,
Yeah,
that
it's-
is a true tale
Perryville,
from
Is
the
Eli
coaching
Sample
dark
the new
side.
head
Say,
coach.
didn't they just get a new coach?
Yeah.
Eli Sample.
Yeah, Eli Sample down there, and
Look at Jeff. Jeff's not even going to look at me now.
my old friend Jason Dreyer
Trying to
is
start
coaching the
something.
girls' side down there, and they've got
Yeah.
a young team also on the girls' side as well. But if you look at some of your overall stats right now, really, Colby Blake is dominating in several different areas. Whether it's
I do have a criticism for Colby.
yeah,
Oh,
He needs to kind of like maybe have like an interview coach, because a couple of times we've interviewed him for player of the game,
oh,
we got a very fly ball caught. kind of,
Yeah,
very brief,
Doesn't know what to do with his hands.
not saying, yeah, exactly. Not saying, anything was negative. It was just very, very brief and, thank you. It was good.
Colby, you be you. That's all I got to say, buddy. We're,
I'm
we're
just
rooting
saying,
for
let
you, my
a little
friend.
bit, a
That's
little bit
it,
more of the
right there.
personality come out. Just let it come out.
Or he can stop by the studio, and we'll do a one-on-one.
Hey, there you go.
Good
The more reps he gets in, the better he'll get.
I like it.
The professor will definitely work with you.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Can't wait.
There's a book right there. There's a book right there. There it is.
Shameless plug again. To February 13th. Any chance we have that Windsor at Festus game, Ray? Unless that'd be a good
I'm going to have
that
to.
might decide things.
I'm going to have to check into that because
Gotcha.
I do believe we have some other commitments, but
Gotcha.
if we can, if I can find a way to fabricate another producer, that's what it comes down
That
to.
may decide the large boys. However, we can't rule out Hillsborough, and if
Sure.
they can close the gap, they have maybe a small 5-8 point gap there right now with those two teams.
Right.
But they may close that. But Festus, yes, we're all impressed with them, and their senior star Drew Johnson. What a player!
Absolutely, and another
Jeffco commit.
and another Jeffco commit, and also the baseball players had a big part. I can't think of the name right now. Is it Jackson Smith?
Jackson Smith.
Sounds right.
Yeah, he's been a big
Yeah.
part of their offense too. He's the young man that's going to go pitch at University of Michigan.
And
Michigan.
Drew Johnson and Olivia Madden both going to Jeffco. That's just a coincidence.
That's right. Well, CB Walker planting those seeds here at the local school, and it's always good to have some local players
Absolutely.
on your JUCO team.
What year is Cooper McGrath? What is he?
Cooper's a senior this year, I
Senior,
believe. And he's among the area leaders in steals over there for the Hillsborough Hawks. So, yeah, he made our Main Street Sports Standouts team last year.
Was Pointer on there as well?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
He might be on there this year. Stay tuned.
There you go.
Pointer. You never know.
There you have it. There you are. We're going to take a break here real quick. We'll be right back with our next segment on Fast Break. It's now time for our pick and roll segment here. And we have on the line here Coach Lisa Borror, the brand new girls basketball coach over at Herculaneum for the Herculaneum Lady Black Cats here. Lisa, how you doing?
Good. How about you?
Excellent, excellent. Tell us a little bit about the season right now and your thoughts on the girls and how they're faring right now at this point.
So far we're still trying to find some buckets late in the game. We're typically in every game until about halftime. And then we just can't keep it going. We've got some good scoring opportunities, good chances and such, but just finding that ball to the basket has been a big challenge for us. And then just defensive wise, just holding that nice 3-2 zone. Sometimes we like to switch it up to a 1-3-1 or a man. But just really controlling that defensive end, trying to get those turnovers, those stops, and then hopefully getting a good transition bucket or something down on the other end.
Excellent, excellent. Well, the good thing about it is we're still early in the season here, and there's a ton of games still ahead of you here, and hopefully you'll be able to put some games together here and get a few wins here, and get those Lady Black Cats going there. So we have the pick and roll section here. So this is how it works. Our pick and roll segment works like this. I've got 10 random questions. You do not know what the questions are, and you're just going to pick 3 of those questions. I'll ask each 3 questions, and they're all about basketball or about coaching and things like that. So it should be really easy for you, I would hope. So let's get your numbers there.
Let's go with number 3.
Okay.
And we'll go 4.
Okay.
And let's go 10.
All right. Perfect. Okay. Question number 3. Here we go. In your coaching journey, and we know that your journey is a little short right here, Herky, but I know you've coached at other places here. How has technology affected game preparation and connection with your players?
So we like to do a nice film day Saturday. That's something new that I have incorporated. And so basically Saturday mornings we get together. Somebody brings some bagels and cream cheese or something. Everybody brings their own coffees and drinks, and we sit down and we watch film together as a team on who we have up that week. And so the girls are just as much part of the process of getting prepared for games, just as like us coaches, and they can actually see the different games, who they played with, what has worked for those teams, what don't work for those teams. So just getting them watching film all together, and then their input has really drastically, I think, changed how we go into games.
Excellent. Okay, you had question number 4, is that right?
Yes.
All right, here we go. Question number 4. Along the way, who first put the notion of coaching in your thoughts, or did it spring from you observing a mentor in some role? And I'm not going to mention your husband.
So I actually wanted to get into coaching when I was in college, and that's pretty much what I did. I started my coaching career my junior year, I think, of when I came back home to Lindenwood. I started at Missouri State, and then I came home to Lindenwood to finish out. And so then I reached out to an old coach, and they didn't have a spot for me. However, I was able to volunteer. So I took a couple of years. I took that opportunity and got into coaching.
This episode is brought to you by Livestream STL. Livestream STL covers Jefferson County and the South St. Louis area. For sponsorship opportunities for any of these events, call 314-852-4398. Sponsorships can be for a single game, complete season, or a custom package. Help spotlight the young athletes of our area and score a layup for your business with new potential customers.
So this is a good one too. I have put that leadership on our seniors, and I'm trying to coach our seniors through what it is to be a good leader, what those values are, how do we approach different situations, how do we approach different teammates and such. And so with me doing that, the younger ones are seeing when situations do arise, they're like, well, how do I handle this, or how should I handle it better? And just, again, giving them, just because you're not in that leadership role, that doesn't mean that you can't be a leader. Right. And so especially on the JV team too, they still need leaders and such down there. So that's where the sophomores are going to lead those freshmen and the other sophomores and such, and so gain that leadership aspect.
Excellent. Well, we appreciate the time. Those were pretty good questions. I thought you did really well. You got some great answers there. So they weren't too hard, were they?
No.
Good. I was making sure, because we always want to check that out. So, Lisa Borror, we appreciate you, and good luck to you. And hopefully we'll get some more wins from those Lady Black Cats.
Yep, we'll start back at the new year on January 5th, Monday night, senior night, to kick everything off. So we're excited to get back at it.
And we'll be at the game, covering that game for you there. So I'm looking forward to it.
All righty, it should be a good one.
Excellent. Lisa Borror from the Herculaneum Black Cats. And we have on the line here, new coach from Herculaneum High School over there at home of the Black Cats there, Logan Kelley-Wolff. How you doing, Coach?
Doing well.
Excellent. Hey, first season with the Black Cats here, taking over for Jason Jarvis. Tell us what that's been like and your thoughts right now. You guys are 5-6. Give us your thoughts on the season so far.
Right now, I feel like it's been up and down season, some growing pains, but I feel like we're in a good spot right now. We matched last year's win total by December, so that was kind of a boost for our kids and our program, but I think currently we're sitting in a good place right now.
Excellent. Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, to be hanging around 500 right now here with with a brand new team. That's a testament of hopefully getting those guys in there. I know they got in late from some of the football players did, but they're able to kind of get their legs back underneath them there, because basketball legs are completely different from football. But some big names coming back here. Tanner Duncan's always a big one there, and others. But I'm impressed with what you're doing already so far. So kudos to you on that. So
Thank you.
let's start with our pick and roll segment here, and this is where you get to pick. We have 10 questions. You get to pick 3 questions, 1 through 10, and they're random. You do not know the question, so some of this could be very interesting. So let's go ahead.
Yep. Let's go with question 3.
Okay, question 3. In your coaching journey, how has technology affected game preparation and connection with your players?
So technology has really helped with game prepping, because with Huddle, we now get numbers and analytics and shot charts where kids are making shots, where they're not, where other teams are making shots where they're not. So it's really helped. Technology-wise, has really helped with game prepping, with scouting reports, and it also allows the kids to kind of watch, see what they're doing. We don't have to have big film sessions with them. We can make notes on the fly, and they just watch them, read the notes that we would say during a film session, and so it's just made it really easy to prep.
Absolutely. Give me another question there.
Let's go 7.
7. Ooh. In defeat, coaches can find positive elements. Conversely, in victories, there can be elements to tweak or to improve. How do you strike the balance of when to encourage and when to challenge your players? Great question.
So right now, we take a lot of positives whenever we can, and we take the wins when we can. When our program has kind of struggled these past 2 years, so taking the wins has been kind of key. And I think the challenges come more at practice, more so than after games. Like, I can give them keys and stuff after the game, during that post game, after a loss. I can give them keys of why they lost, but I don't think that's the time and place to really drive in points. I think that's more of a practice thing. And then on wins, I mean, we're super positive after wins, and like I said, we take our wins whenever we can right now.
Great. Next question. Give me a number.
Let's go 1.
1. Okay. Still early in the season, but what has been your biggest surprise from your team so far as the Herculaneum Black Hats are concerned?
I think the culture shift has been the biggest thing. I thought it would take a little bit longer, but whenever you have seniors like a Tanner Duncan, a Jackson LaPlante, Isaiah Pickens, Alex Gitman, who hasn't played yet, but whenever you have seniors that are leaders, that it makes that culture shift really easy. And whenever your top guys are bought in, then some of the younger kids are going to buy into. And we're getting buy-in from the JV team, freshman team. So overall, I feel like the culture shift for the program is probably the biggest thing.
Excellent. Well, great to catch up with you, get to know you a little bit more here. I'm sure we'll see you down the road here, but congrats on a decent season to start, especially this first half here. And I'm sure we'll see you down the road.
Yep. Thank you.
Coach Logan Kelley-Wolff from the Herculaneum Black Hats.
And now, Tales from the Coaching Dark Side.
Hello, and welcome to another tale from the Coaching Dark Side. Okay, I'm not going to use the scary voice again. But today's tale is very scary. You are coaching a junior high boys basketball team. Your team has just won the tournament championship.
You're going to Disney World.
And the player on that junior high boys basketball team with the worst hygiene comes up and gives you the biggest, sweatiest hug of your life.
Oh, just imagine the squelching noise. Thanks, coach.
This is Tales of the Coaching Darkside.
Hello and welcome back to Fast Break. And once again, it is time for another episode of the Hoops Whisperer. Now, what I want everyone to know is if you never paid attention in school or college, that's okay. We have the smartest man alive, and all you have to do is listen to his deep thoughts. And with no further ado, I present to you Scott the Freak Latta with another Hoops Whisperer.
And that person that he is referencing is Jeff Whitener, and he'll be here soon. So, in the previous edition of Hoops Whisperer, we talked about the 5 Ds of basketball: dribble, dish, drive, drain, a 3, and defense.
And dunk. Oh, sorry.
Well, not everybody can dunk.
My bad.
I can dunk, but it's got to be like one of those adjustable ones.
Right.
But anyway, now the focus turns to who makes the game great and entertaining as a spectacle for all of us. Of course, I am speaking of the players. At the different levels in organized baseball and softball, when a hitter strides to the plate, his or her walk-up music hits, and everybody gets excited. In basketball, how about every time a player is fouled in a shooting situation and is sent to the free throw line, they could have 5 to 7 seconds of their favorite song played as they walk to the line. Now you may be saying, now you might be like, okay, that's going to be kind of cool, but what if they get the same person fouled every single time for 10 times? You're only playing 5 to 7 seconds of the song, but you just jump to the next 5 to 7 seconds. And then it becomes like a challenge. Okay, can I get fouled enough times to play my entire song? That would be kind of cool. Unless maybe like your song is, like Echoes by Pink Floyd, which is like 23 minutes.
Oh my God.
And I'm guessing no one would pick, Jethro Tull's Thick as a Brick, for obvious reasons. You don't want to be bricking at the free throw line, but also that one's 43 minutes. So thank you from the Hoops Whisperer and everyone who supports Livestream STL. Thank you.
Baby, hit me one more time.
Yeah, hit me one more time. Nice.
Missed opportunity there.
This is how we do.
Yeah,
that's
right.
That's what I
There
would
we go.
choose myself.
Nice. And the examples could go on and on here, guys, but we're going to wrap things up.
Send in to Ray at Livestream.
Yeah. Send in the clowns. A good one. That's a good one. Send in the clowns. Okay, there you go.
That would be my free throw.
That would be after a ref makes a bad call.
Great. Without further ado, we're going to wrap up things here at Fast Break. Thanks again for being a part of our Fast Break show. Don't forget to check out our website, livestreamstl.tv, and our Roku app there at Livestream STL. Just search Livestream STL in that Roku app there, and you'll be able to watch all of our games for free. We appreciate you being a part again here for the Professor of Coachonomics in the middle here, the Freak of Speak, and the Hoops Whisperer, Scotty Lotta, Ray Halbrook, all of us here at Livestream and Fast Break. Have a great week.
This episode is brought to you by Livestream STL. Livestream STL covers Jefferson County and the South St. Louis area. For sponsorship opportunities for any of these events, call 314-852-4398. Sponsorships can be for a single game, complete season, or a custom package. Help spotlight the young athletes of our area and score a layup for your business with new potential customers.
Thanks for watching today's broadcast. Any unauthorized use of this broadcast without the express written consent of Livestream STL is strictly prohibited.